Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another celebrity reading. This time, it is on Taylor Swift. And you know what? A little bit of Selena Gomez again. Yes, I'll put the link up to my last Taylor Swift reading here. I did one on Ticketmaster drama. And I'll also put one up about the Selena drama. So, a lot of people have been asking what's going on with Taylor, because Taylor is currently about to, as of filming this, I think tomorrow is the first show of the Eras tour. So people are kind of wanting to know what's going on with her, what's she doing. I think she's releasing a couple songs tomorrow night. And people are just talking about her. And then they also want to know what she thinks about the whole Selena drama, because Selena was defending her against Hailey Bieber and all sorts of stuff. They kind of want to know what the dynamic is between Selena and her. So I'm going to kind of just do like a general overview of Taylor and then also look at her dynamic with Selena and Taylor. So remember, these readings are all alleged different chambers only, and let's get started. Oh, also, if you haven't checked it out, I was recently on the Fluently Forward podcast. It's my second time on there, and we did talk a lot about Taylor. So, all right, let's go. Let's get started. Okay, so I want to pull Taylor first. So she's the Death card reversed. And then I want to pull Selena, Three of Pentacles reversed. And I want to pull the energy between the two of them. Interesting. I don't think they've had the easiest relationship. I do think the two of them have had their ups and downs. I think that Selena says and feels a lot of the things that Taylor wishes she can say and feel. So I think there's a part of Taylor that really admires Selena. I think Selena has I don't think Selena is loyal to everyone, but I can tell you that Selena has a blind loyalty to Taylor, which is, I think, what Taylor really appreciates, is that even when they've had their issues, Selena has never snitched on her. Selena has never thrown her under the bus. And I think that's why Taylor values her so much, is because no matter what happens, she knows that she won't betray her. With the Queen of Swords being reversed, I definitely will say that there are times where Taylor has distanced herself, for sure, because that's about feeling alienated or pushed away. I think Selena, when she struggles with her mental health, which she's admitted, and things like that, I think she can be a little bit mean and lash out. And I think those are the times when Taylor steps back. For me, I think Taylor is one of the only people that Selena respects enough to listen to. In this power dynamic, the Five of Pentacles is reversed. Taylor has more power over Selena than Selena has over Taylor. And it's almost like Selena looks up to her and listens to her out of respect. So it's not necessarily mom energy. It's like big sis energy, where I think Selena seeks her approval. It's not unhealthy, though. I don't want you to feel like this is an unhealthy dynamic. I think that she's a constant in Selena's life where she realizes, like, I can't act the way I act around everyone else around her. I have to tighten up and get my act together. Now, the Death card is reversed for Taylor. So I think as Taylor has gotten older, I think she's realized how valuable Selena is. And I think that as Taylor has gotten older, she's gotten more in touch with the softer side. And I think she's kind of related a lot more to Selena than she used to. And with the Three of Pentacles reversed, it seems like Selena does go to her for advice, I think, with her career. But I also think the two of them appreciate the fact that it's not just an industry thing. Like, I think that, yes, she can go for her to advice or if she needs something, but I don't think that's like their only basis. In fact, I don't know if they talk about it even that much anymore. I think one of the biggest sparks between the two of them is I feel like work ethic may have been a little bit of a frustration between the two of them. I think that's probably why there hasn't been any collab or anything together. I think they've also just avoided that because I think they were working on their authentic friendship. I think that they might discuss soon doing something together. Just because the Ace of Wands is there, which is the birth of something new, the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups reverse says that before maybe I had more like of a power over you, but now we're trying to even that out. So I do think that there's potential for them to do a collab or just something together, maybe a video, a cute little post, just something that for them to do, TikTok maybe. Perhaps Selena will be brought out on tour. I don't know, but there's definitely something that's possible to happen between the two of them just because they're evening out the scales. I also think Taylor's relationship has sort of helped her. I feel like Taylor's energy is much more grounded now, and I think she's really understanding why someone could go to the lengths that they go or feel the way they feel over a guy. I think she's kind of really realizing that. So I think she's understanding the other side of the spectrum of like when people go crazy over a guy or whatever. She's sort of understanding why Selena was going through the things she was going through. I don't know if I would say that Selena or Taylor feels burdened. I know a lot of people question if she feels burdened with Selena's friendship. I think there are at times where it was too much, so she pulled away, but I don't necessarily feel like she feels burdened, at least not right now. I will say, I do think that they've had conversations about the drama because I can see the Queen of Swords as like a phone call where I just shit talk. That's, in my opinion, Taylor. I think Taylor is pissed. I just see Taylor as a Spitfire. She's a Sag, right? I see her as a Spitfire, and I just see her being like, I'm sick and tired of this shit. And I see the Knight of Cups reverse too, which is about immaturity. So you're not going to get me to, you're not going to convince me otherwise. I feel very strongly that Taylor is in her ear, or at least has given her advice and has been like, we need to be patient. Taylor is waiting for her time to strike, and I think she's teaching Selena to wait for her time to strike. I'm pretty sure. Because to me, I see it as Mastermind, the song, I see that as her being calculated. And especially with the Knight of Cups, she's like, they're immature. And they don't really understand. And the Queen of Swords is like, we need to wait for our time. Let me keep pulling, but I think that's what it is. Yep, there it is. Patience and balance and temperance. Yep. So there's the Queen of Wands, there's the anger, and going right for the beautiful woman, and the Ace of Cups. Well, first of all, I can tell you there's beef between Taylor Swift and Kendall Jenner. Because that just made me think of Kendall, and there's definitely beef between the two of them. Something happened between her and Kendall. I don't know what it was, but there's beef. Number 2, Ace of Cups, Temperance, and Queen of Wands makes me feel like Taylor is thinking long term. So I think Taylor is thinking more along the lines of, the best way to get under someone's skin is to use other people. So for me, it's almost like befriend their friends or befriend their boyfriends or exes. Like there's something more. It's not that this is what they're going to do, but the point I'm trying to make is she's trying to show Selena the bigger picture and the strategy of it all, because when you're dealing with things like Hailey Bieber or the Kardashians, everything they do is for publicity, right? And it gives them publicity. And so she's trying to teach her to get under their skin without directly gunning for them, because you'll give them what they want. So for instance, like, oh, look at who they're friends with, look at their connections, look at who they dated, whatever, and subtly dig. So for her, she's trying to get her to be a little bit more strategized. I also think there's a part of Taylor that feels like Selena is targeted because of her. So I think sometimes Taylor apologizes to Selena because she realizes Selena is very sensitive and can't always handle all of it. And I think sometimes Taylor's like, I think you're targeted because you're with me. And anyone that's with me is going to get targeted. And I think there's some pre-existing beefs that she feels like Selena is getting roped into as well. So I think this is a little bit more complex than we realize. I also feel strongly like there might be someone behind the scenes that is a common enemy of Taylor. So I don't know who that is. It might be a manager or, a publicity person or whatever. But I feel very strongly that there's a cog in this machine that we don't see, that's behind the scenes, that Taylor has had an issue with previously. And I think Selena's getting roped into that as well. Yeah, Emperor reverse. That's what it is. It's an Emperor reverse. So it's someone with a lot of power and influence who utilizes that in a negative way. There's the Empress. Could be someone who was married at some point. But because Emperor and Empress. But I mean, I would. Sometimes that's divorce. But regardless, Empress is there and Five of Cups, which to me makes me feel like you're targeted on my behalf. This is a game on my behalf, and I need to protect you because it's my fault. So there's something here as well. I'm not sure if it's the same issue or if it's another issue, but there's a part of Taylor that feels protective over Selena because of this, because she's like, you're getting the brunt of this as well. It's interesting because I don't think Taylor is wrong. I think if you are publicly on Taylor's side, you are targeted. She has enemies in this industry, like really strong enemies, which I mean, I guess isn't super shocking, right? I mean, Taylor is known for going after people herself, so I'd expect someone to have enemies in that position. She's comfortable with it, but I think she struggles with other people having enemies on her behalf. So I'm wondering who it could be and what the connection. I mean, I'm not like a super. I like Taylor Swift, but I don't know everything. So I'm trying to figure out what could be the connection between Selena and Taylor, and then Hailey, Kendall, Kylie, and Justin Bieber. I'm not sure. So maybe you guys can put it down in the comments down below. I don't know. Regardless, the Five of Cups is disappointments too, which is Taylor being like, oh, so you're going for the easier targets. She feels like people are lying and manipulating for money as well. I think she suspects that people are paid off to go after people like her and Selena. She sees this as, as a truth, business decisions. So for her, it's like, this is their money, this is their game, this is what they do. Let's see here. Someone's been trying to break up Taylor's relationship. Someone's actively seeking dirt to break up Taylor's relationship. That's Joe. The Lover's card is upright, the King of Swords and the Eight of Cups. That's like trying to force her to separate from him. Someone is actively trying to separate her from her boyfriend. I think they've tried to sell stories or try to get stories planted. Allegedly for entertainers only, I see them trying to get stories planted about there being trouble in paradise. I see people threatening to expose certain things, his past, some things about his past. The Seven of Cups tells me there's a lot of reaches. I don't think she has a perfect relationship. But I think if you highlighted some aspects that, weren't the best moments, it looks worse than it really is. And the Seven of Swords is someone who's like, I'm going to get victory at all costs. So this is one of her enemies that wants to kind of ruin that. Yep, there he is. King of Cups reversed. I fucking knew it. Yep. He hasn't taken the bait, though. It's interesting. He's okay. I think Taylor is a genius, okay? But I'm confident in saying that Joe is smarter than her. And I think that's why she respects him and why she got with him, because he's one of the only people that's been smarter than her. The Six of Pentacles is reversed in the Fool, which tells me that a lot of people have tried to bait him into things. A lot. And a lot of people have tried to get him to say things and do things. And he hasn't taken the bait, but it's getting her pissed off because she's ready to kind of like, I think he's kept a lot of things secret, but I think she's starting to find out a lot and she's getting pissed because she's like, people need to stop. I also see some sort of issue or scandal for him that people want to expose. It has to do with before he got with her. So there's some sort of thing in his past before he got with her that people are going to be pointed in the direction to. So I think they wanted to run stories and they weren't able to. So I think you might see some anonymous sources pointing towards his past and things like that. Perhaps you'll start to see YouTube videos being made about his past or something, because I just see them. There's this person that's actively on this campaign to try to push the narrative of dive into his past. Like, here's an anonymous note. You should look into this. You should look into this. You should do research here. You should look this up. You should pull this document. Like, I'm definitely seeing, yep, Page of Wands. I can't say it, but if I push people in the right direction, they might be able to say it. And the Page of Pentacles says, you better be careful. Anyone who does anything like this, you better be fucking careful, because the Page of Pentacles says it's not worth the money. So you better watch out. I personally wouldn't publish things like that, but good luck to anyone that is stupid enough to fall for that. The Eight of Swords is a victim of circumstance, the Seven of Wands upright, and the Nine of Cups. You might see a random interview happen where Taylor or him gives a lot more details than they would have. They're doing a favor. There might be a favor done so that something isn't posted as well. Some sort of political, not a political post, but I'm saying it's like politics, because it's like, I have to do this so that they don't run this story. That might happen, and it'd be random. You're like, why did that happen? Now you know. The Two of Swords, the Ten of Wands reversed, and the Ace of Pentacles. Huh. You know, she spent a lot of time and money on keeping everything private. But you want to know what else is interesting? I know she's a very private person and she's kept everything secret, but there's a part of Taylor that's ready to kind of pull the curtain and be like, you want to know the truth about me and what I've done over the years and who I am? Maybe it's time. Justice and the Seven of Pentacles. There's a part of her that kind of almost wants to just be honest and be truthful. There's a part of her that's kind of like, maybe if I really opened up, are they actually ready? Are they really ready? I think she might test the waters soon with spilling certain things, because there's a part of her that's like, maybe they're ready to learn more about me. Because I'm seeing like My Mind and Me, the documentary with Selena Gomez. So I'm wondering if Taylor will have her own documentary soon. But I just see her kind of like, maybe they're ready. Yeah, I think there's a lot she wants to share about her past relationships and what she was doing and the mistakes she's made and the progress that she's made, and when she took 2 steps back. I really feel like a reminisce. And I also think she might fill in some gaps of some things she was doing that no one knows about. I'm also wondering if she's going to start talking about her issues with commitment and marriage. And because I know she talked about that in her songs, how everyone wants her to get married or whatever, but there's a hesitation there, and there's a reason for that. There's a feeling of betrayal and an ending of cycles. So I'm wondering if she's commitment phobic or just scared. I don't know, but there's a conversation about why she hasn't gotten married. Just something to do with that. Usually Hierophant is like, reverse, breaking of a commitment, a divorce maybe, and maybe there's a fear of that, or running off with all of my stuff. I'm not sure, but there's a conversation to be had with that. Yeah, some sort of trauma there. I think she's just scared of what could happen. You know what's interesting? I see Taylor going through an era where she almost feels undeserving of the things that she's had. This is interesting, and it makes sense why her and Selena are so close, because Selena has gone through something similar. There's almost this feeling of guilt for having what she has. I'm wondering if it has to do with how much people are struggling these days, and how she's older now and she's looking at relationship dynamics and her family and all this. It almost seems like she feels guilty for having what she has. I wonder if she feels guilty for being happy. Taylor hasn't really been able to be happy for most of her life and her career, right? And I'm wondering if there's a part of her that feels guilty for being happy. This is quite interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys like that. Remember, if you do, you can always tip. There's a link to my PayPal down below. It's about $9 to the heart. It says saying she money directly. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Antphrodite. Until next time, good luck.